name's Michael Darby. I'm the UK sales manager for Serge Ferrari. I've been working with Rubb for 3 years. The relationship between Serge Ferrari and Rubb goes back 25 years. Serge Ferrari manufacture the flagship fabric for most of Rubb's structures, Flexlite 832, and today we'll just go through some of the aspects that have made that relationship and the fabric important to both companies. Serge Ferrari in the main provide a product that's called Flexlite Perform 832. This is polyester based fabric coated with PVC and then further coated with a varnish, an acrylic, which helps protect the fabric from dirt, etc. We incorporate certain treatments such as anti-wick or anti-wicking, which stops stains and so forth going into the fabric, so that on a sunny day, for example, when you look up, you don't see any mildew or any of those kinds of things. To give you some idea of the strength of the fabric, it's about 8 tons per square meter, so it's a pretty strong fabric. And in terms of the safety of the fabric, it conforms with all known standards worldwide. The reason that the fabric is so suitable for these structures is the fabric behaves well in all sorts of climatic extremes. We can have the fabric that can deal with hot and cold and can go up to or withstand temperatures of -30 and +70. The other thing that Serge Ferrari brings to this fabric is their pre-contract technology, which is a form of pre-tensioning the fabric in both warp and weft as it's coated. And that does a number of things. It gives the fabric excellent dimensional stability in both the warp and the weft direction. And from a customer's point of view, that means that the fabric is thinner, it's more even, and when the fabric's coated, it's more the PVC, which is there to protect the yarns, is more evenly coated, so that has a big impact on the life expectation and the performance of the fabric once the structures are made. So to give an example, if you've got fabric that would sag, you'd get things like snow loading, water settlement, and over the time that would degrade the fabric. It would also make it look unattractive. You get this sagging into the structures, it causes flapping, which gives you acoustic problems inside the building, and structures and fabrics don't like movement, so if you can keep things stable and in some sort of uniform state, they behave much better for much longer, and they look better. Serge Ferrari's capabilities are, there's a lot of aspects to it. R&D would be certainly one area. We do a lot of development. We've got a very big research and development department. We're increasingly looking at how we can best suit our customers' needs in terms of colours, in terms of environment, in terms of helping to allow the products to behave better for longer. We've got a network of companies right across the world, and certainly with regards to Rubb, we're represented in all of the Rubb locations: Poland, USA, UK, Norway. So this helps a lot of coordination in terms of cooperation logistically and in terms of future developments. The benefits to Rubb's clients and end users is because of our pre-contract technology, which gives you the consistency of product every time, is you get an aesthetically pleasing structure and a durable structure. And I think the length of time that we've been doing these together would give your clients, Rubb's clients, the confidence in going with us time and time again, because they know that around the world in all sorts of different environments, there's lots of structures out there that have been around for years, so it's that, I think, that's the unique point. The environmental advantages to using this kind of fabric are many. We've already had a long relationship with Rubb and with the 832, FlexLight Form 832 that we've discussed earlier, has been the platform for many years. As I said to you, the coatings are changing. We have a software now that can look at, called TextTherm, which can look at how using different products together, different fabrics together in combination, will help things like insulation in terms of acoustic comfort, reducing the amount of energy to keep these buildings going. The other thing that's becoming more and more important is the maximisation of natural light. I think certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, UK particularly, where we don't get great light all year round, we're looking at ways and fabrics which can utilise natural light as much as possible. It makes people more productive, and they're more productive because they feel better, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to try and create environments for people to operate in where they feel comfortable, and natural light is one of the biggest contributors to that. I think these days one of the main concerns is how it relates to fire retardancy. I think the events at Grenfell in London have meant that people are really quite concerned about what would happen when a fabric building should have a fire problem. And I think that that's an area that we're quite well developed in already. We do whole building, whole structure testing. The other codes relating to sustainability and conforming to most other issues that we've probably already discussed are ongoing. They're always moving forward, and I think that most of your Rubb's clients would be aware of those, and we're always looking to stay ahead of the game. But the fire one is the one that people ask the most questions about now. And our buildings, I think if you can figure that all the fabrics we supply to Rubb are fire retardant, so in a total structure situation, if the fire should touch the roof, for example, the roof would then open up, which would create a hole, and smoke and so forth would exhaust through the top of the building. So actually, in fact, it's probably a safer place to be than a conventional building. The other thing is people are worried because it's got a polyester PVC coating. If you look at the Euroclass specifications for a lot of our products, you'll see that it's broken down into, for example, BS2D0. The S is the smoke that develops, and the D would be the droplets or debris, and nearly in every case it's 0, so that wouldn't be happening. But that would be an assurance, I think, for Rubb's clients. The new product developments and developments on fabrics for the future are the lifeblood of Serge Ferrari. We are a company that lives and breathes innovation. We're always looking at ways, particularly with heat and light issues, which are an area of particular interest at the moment. We're doing lots and lots of development work. The Serge Ferrari long-term strategy is to provide solutions that answer the environmental challenges of tomorrow. So that's what we're about. The three areas I can think of that are going to come to fruition for yourselves, Rubb, in the next year or so, we have an air tension system which works in conjunction with like an inflated CADA system, which means that the fabrics from the outside always remain flat. They look better, and obviously, as I've said before, the flapping and so forth that fabrics don't like, and it's not pleasant to be hearing it, etc., is eradicated because the air keeps the fabrics under tension permanently. There's a lot, as we mentioned earlier, about increasing the amount of light that we're getting into buildings, so clear PVC is another area of development, and we should be bringing those for Rubb to evaluate very shortly. And the other thing that's really changing the fabric expectation in terms of life is a product we have called TX30. What TX30 is it's a PVDF coated acrylic coating that is cross-linked. So what that does is that buildings that would attract, say, maybe a 15 to 20 year lifespan. You could be looking at 30 plus years lifespan, and that will change the life expectancy of Rubb's buildings going forward. So we know they perform well already, but the likelihood is going forward, and right now the Olympique Lyon football club in France have just had their new stadium roof done with this technology, and their expectation, in fact their specification, was the life of the fabric would be 30 years. So that's going to be a game changer for us. And yeah, I think with everything I can see with Thermohall of Rubb, the way that we're moving our developments, I can see a good and long-lasting relationship between Rubb Buildings and Serge Ferrari for many years to come.